Hey y'all. Hey, what's up? What's good? And welcome back to Chats with Friends, the podcast. And yes, we are on video now. You see that? You see how the new year, new things, new me? Yeah, that's what we're on. Welcome back to Chats with Friends. Thank you so much for joining me. It's your girl, Kiana, and over here on Chats with Friends, we chop it up all things life, love, relationships, you name it. Whatever we want to talk about, we going to talk about it over here down to the Chats with Friends. So thank you for joining me. Welcome and pull up a chair, grab a snack, sit back so we can chat. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we do not want you to miss, especially now that I am live and in color, we do not want you to miss another episode. So make sure you click that like button and you subscribe and that you'll get notified when a new show drops. So much. Where did we last leave off? Where did we last leave off? It was sometime back down to the 2023. It was a long time ago. But anyway, a lot has happened. I have gone through sort of a metamorphosis of sorts. A lot of change, a lot of shift, a lot of things have happened in my life. So I want to do a little sort of resetting, level setting, sort of reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. Anyway, no, my name is Kiana. But I want to just do some of that sort of take you on the journey with me as to what's been happening with me for the last year or so. Kind of what I've been up to most recently. Yeah. But before that, let's do what we do, sort of set the tone, make sure you are hydrated. So what are you all drinking on? Me, I'm drinking water. I know it's very not exciting. And I have a mandarin orange here that I didn't think that through very well because I can't eat it. I could, but I'll wait till after I'm done recording to start eating my orange. But that's what I would be eating. Before I jumped on, I did eat a little bit of something. I can't even remember what that was. But anyway, I digress. But what y'all eating and snacking on? So I would love to know what you eating and snacking on. Put it in the chat and let me know what you're snacking and eating on. But you know how we do. We pull a card. And so today I'm pulling from the and these are the and cards, and this is the self edition. And I'm not picking from the whole deck. I just pulled the top few, and so I'm just going to pick one from this array of cards. So I'm going to pick one of these cards. And the card says, wow, if I do this, how will it change my eulogy? Wow, that's a deep question. And I will say, I was listening to, was it a podcast or was I watching somebody on YouTube? I don't even remember what I was doing, but I was watching something and the gentleman talked about, the most important piece of information that's on a tombstone. And it's the little dash in between the sunrise and sunset date, right? And so that little dash is actually the life that we live, the impact that we're making, the change, the sort of things that we want to do in our lives and the experiences that we have and the friendships and the love and all of those things is what makes up that dash. And that's the most important part of sort of our life and our tombstone. But how it would change my eulogy, how will doing this, and I will say this being this podcast, right? And I'll talk about this in a little bit, but specifically around the idea that I stepped into deliberately and intentionally stepped into the unknown, fear, change, all of that stuff to actually record this podcast and show up as my authentic self, to just be able to create space for me and for others to just show up and be their authentic selves, I think will change my eulogy a bit from just when I think about who I was and how I've sort of played it safe in a lot of spaces and a lot of times over my lifetime, done what was safe, done what was, new, or not necessarily new to me, but done things that were comfortable to me, right? I've taken some risks, i.e. I picked up my whole life and moved to Chicago almost 6 years ago. I've done some things, but for the most part, like, I have sort of played it safe. And so, even me getting in front of the camera and recording this show in video as well is just me pushing against my own sort of limiting beliefs and my own programming that I have to deprogram myself around. And just how I have created and been sort of the model or a example of what it looks like to actually, in the moment, in real time, step into the unknown, step into your fears, and just do it anyway, and that you can do it. So I think that's the answer to that question. I would love to hear if you were to ask yourself the question, if I do this and figure out what this is, how will it change my eulogy? So yeah, I encourage you to respond and reflect on that question. So yeah. So now that we got that out the way, we know what we drinking, we know what we eating, we done did our icebreaker question. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it. So 2024, like, are you serious right now? 2024. I have to laugh to almost keep from crying because, Lord, today, 2024, kicked the effing door in and was like rearranging the furniture. And it's just 20 some odd days in, and 2024 is like setting the effing record straight. I do curse a lot, so there's that. I don't know if I'm trying not to. I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to not curse right now. Oh my God, this is so. Anyway, 2024 has been a doozy for me thus far in my personal life, in my professional life. And it has got me sort of, a little bit off kilter a little bit already. And I'm feeling like, whoa. Everybody just sit the fuck down. Like, everybody just calm down. Like, everybody, whoa, easy, cowboy. And that's what I felt like so much of this year already. And so I don't know how 2024 has started out for you, but I really feel like doing a Control-Alt-Delete on 2024 and starting this mofo all over again. Cause I specifically gave specific instructions to 2024. And I was like, come in, sit down, be quiet, don't touch nothing. And we'll let you know when we want to, bring you into the conversation. And 2024 had a lot of other plans. So anyway, I would just say, pray my strength in the Lord, pray for my family on a serious tip, pray for my family, pray for me, because Lord, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. So that's how 2024 has started for me. I hope it has started off better for you. And I really, all jokes aside, like, I am trying to reset and reorient myself and just really sort of tap into what I actually have control over and what I don't, and get out of my head and get out of letting myself getting spun up about a lot of things that I absolutely have no control over. So there's that. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to just sort of set the tone for like how 2024 has been. It's been a doozy. Um, Also, so sort of shifting gears just a little bit. Um, as I mentioned at the top of this, and I'm looking off into the sky because I'm sort of trying to get my thoughts together. But as I was thinking about some of the more significant things that I've been sort of addressing and sort of working through over the last year or so, one of them is around setting boundaries and that sort of thing. And I say that to say that, as I mentioned at the top of this show, my name is Kiana, and that's pronounced Kiana, right? And I think that the what I learned and sort of the big aha moment for me, for some reason, I don't necessarily know what happened specifically, but I realized how much of my 52 years on this planet I have allowed people to say my name wrong or made things convenient and comfortable for other folks, right? So it's this pattern of mine to sort of put Kiana at the back and put everyone else, their needs, their comfort in the front, right? And before me. And so, I've spent a significant amount of my life correcting people on how to say my name. And quite frankly, it's somewhat exhausting to have to correct people on how to say my name all the time. Literally, I remember working at this job and I would answer the phone and I would be like, "Hi, this is Kiana speaking." And they would be like, "Hi, Kiona." And I'm just like, dude, like I literally said my name. I know how to say my name. I said my name, right? And, for the sake of sort of keeping the peace, not wanting to ruffle feathers, making everybody else comfortable, I would just sort of gloss over it and just let people call me the wrong thing, call me Kiona. And I've done that in many different occasions. On some occasions, I would correct people, but sometimes and many times I didn't. Most recently, I added a feature to my signature in my email that has a recording of me saying my name and how to correctly pronounce it. And it's in my signature and it says how to say my name, right? And I'm so grateful for that platform. I can't think of the name of the platform, but I'm grateful for that platform in that obviously I'm not the only one that has grown tired and weary of correcting people on how to say their names. But it just, it just is a reminder, and it's just a boundary for me that I've set. Like, you get to put the energy and the effort into saying my name correctly. It does not take that much energy and effort to say my name correctly. So that sort of, just noticing that was the illumination for me, was my tendencies to sort of acquiesce and people please and not consider Kiana's feelings and not consider Kiana's thoughts and not consider those things, and making everyone else around me's life comfortable. And so thusly, I don't want to, upset or embarrass anybody by saying, "Oh, you said my name wrong." So I wouldn't correct them. I would also just allow people to call me KJ, right? Because it's just easier. It's just easier for people to just say KJ, right? Instead of making the effort to say Kiana. And so a lot of people, would just call me KJ as a shortcut to saying my name correctly. And you may or may not have noticed on my IG handle was simply KJ on Instagram. My name on Facebook is my name, Kiana Jackson, but my Instagram and my TikTok both were simply KJ. And I have since changed that to my name, Kiana Jackson. And shout out to the other Kiana Jackson, whoever she is and wherever she is, that has taken the handle Kiana Jackson. I had to do Kiana Jackson with an underscore after it because the Kiana Jackson was already taken by someone else. And she doesn't even use the platform. So anyway, shout out to the other Kiana Jackson that has the IG handle Kiana Jackson. I digress. So you if you follow me on social media, you will have noticed that I changed my name on social media to reflect my name and to reflect that that is my name and that is what I am going to communicate for folks to call me. I'm no longer going to make it easy for you. I'm no longer going to center your feelings and your comfort over my own in a lot of cases, especially in this case, in order to make life easier for you and let you call me something that's not my name. So that happened. It may not seem like a big deal to you, but it is and was a big deal to me. And, when I think about, I dated a guy, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I dated a guy who would regularly not say my name right. And I would not correct him. I mean, I had corrected him a couple different times. He introduced me to his family as Kiona, and I just would be like, hey, just call me KJ. Right. And I'm not even, I can't, but I will just say that, that is not a thing anymore. Like I will not, as I look back, I can't imagine being in a whole relationship with someone and not at least enforcing them to say my name correctly. Like, really, Kiana? So that's my own shit that I had to work out and still have to work out around. That's my own. Whoo! Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Anyway, yeah, that happened. The other thing that, I have literally been, those of you who are in your 50s, or, plus or minus, you may have noticed that I started wiping my sweat because I'm having a hot flash, because that's what people my age, we tend to suffer from these sorts of things. So I'm having a whole hot flash right now. A whole hot flash. And I'm already a sweater, so there's that. But anyway, I recall sort of, always, is always the right word? I don't know if always is the right word, but I can recall having conversations with God, having conversations with friends, having conversations with family about, I just want to be able to be authentically myself, right? Authentically myself. I want to be able to show up in spaces, at work, and wherever, in relationships, etc., as my authentically myself. That doesn't mean I get to be an asshole or just treat people whatever. I mean, that's not my style or my personality, but I want to be able to just be me. And I want to be able to be in places and spaces where I can just be me. And I prayed and I've been praying and asking God, oh God, in my work and all these things. And God is so funny. Anyway, it's like, I remember having this sort of like light bulb moment that was like, you got the whole internet, like the whole entire internet is a place where you can show up and do whatever the hell you want to do, however the hell you want to do it. So Kiana, really? Like, and you have a whole platform, you have a whole podcast, you have social media, you have all these things. So what in the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, Kiana? So you already have the platform to actually be yourself. And the weird thing, or the interesting thing is, literally, you all, when I first decided that I wanted to do this podcast, I decided I wanted to do it in audio only, right? Because I was like, I can't just show up on camera looking any old kind of way. I have to I don't normally just I normally just have on sweats. I work from home, so I don't put clothes on all the time like that, where I actually dress up. And most of the time my hair is like tousled in a bun of some sort. I don't have my lashes on. Like, it's just not a thing. I typically when I'm stepping out and I'm going somewhere to an event or to a play or to a show or to have brunch with my girlfriends or whatever, I'm going to dress up. I'm going to put on lashes. I'm going to do the things, but every day I just am like down to the sweatshirt and the leggings, right? Thank you, COVID, because before then I did kind of put some effort in. But I say all that to say that I was like, I can't just show up and not be put together. Like I can't. And so in a space and a place where there's many people all over the internet who are showing up with or without makeup, with or without lashes, with or without being dolled up and dressed up, this story that I had in my head about what was expected of me, it was my own doing, right? There's that. But like I'm asking for this place to be authentic and the place already exists. So I say all that to say, I keep bumping into the mic. I say all that to say, here I am. This is me, raw and uncut, right? I used to have a show called Straight No Chaser. Anyway, this is me, raw and uncut, right? This is what I wore today. I have on this hoodie. I have on some sweats. This is me. And so I wasn't going to let the fact that I don't look all dolled up and that I'm not put together or whatever stop me from actually connecting and making the impact that it is that I want to make, which is to connect, to build community, to create space for people to just show up and be themselves, to talk about stuff, to just chat and chop it up, right? Just like I would with my friends. With my friends, I don't always get dolled up. With my friends, I may just show up with my hair tousled and looking a whole hot, crusty-eyed mess, right? And my friends allow me to do that. They don't be like, "Ooh, girl, like what happened?" Right? So the whole authenticity thing was another sort of moment for me or conversation for me that I've been having with myself. And also along with that, sort of one of the key lessons that I learned in 2023 around boundaries and things like that. Like, actually, it's not always safe and or needed and or necessary to show up authentically or be my whole self in all spaces, right? Like, everyone should not have access to all of me all the time, right? So that was something that it was sort of a pretty significant sort of lesson that I learned in last year, is like, not everybody doesn't get to have access to me all the time, and that's okay, right? Even in those spaces where I am in connecting with other folks and being in relationship with other folks, I still want to be able to just be myself, right? And knowing when and where that starts and stops with people and certain crowds, etc. Right? That's my own learning around that. So authenticity was, oh my God, was another big lesson for me in 2023 going into 2024, and sort of this metamorphosis that I'm sort of undergoing. And I think we're always constantly growing, reshaping, reforming, sort of changing and all of that, morphing into something different and greater, better versions of ourselves, which is what I'm always striving for. So that happened, and that has been a thing. And then I also want to touch on God. And if you know anything about me, you know that me and God were on the outs for 8+ years since my son passed away. And for obvious reasons, I think to many folks, like, I just really could not, and still really don't, to be quite frank, understand why my boy, right? I just still, it's hard to wrap my brain around that. So knowing that who God is and how he has control over this whole situation, I literally was like, God, you could have did something. different that day, right? You could have had somebody. Anyway, I'm not even going to go down that road, but I will say that I was really not interested in talking to God for a very long time. And interestingly enough, as of lately, he has a way. He definitely has his way. But as of lately, I have desired to be more connected and to be more in relationship with him. I have grown up in church. I've always been in church. I've always believed in God. And even in my sort of time where I had pieced God out, I still acknowledge that he runs this whole situation. Like that is clear to me. But I have gotten to this place where, like, one of my 2024 intentions for 2024. My very first one was to develop a closer relationship with God. And then my other one was I want to be able to see myself how God sees me, right? And so when I wrote those, I don't necessarily know that I had set myself up for, because really, in order to get closer with God and to see myself how God sees me means I'm going to have to spend more time with him. I'm going to have to be in community with him, be in a relationship with him, understand him and get to know him and communicate with him so that I can know how he sees me and to be closer to him. I don't know that I had thought that all the way through. I don't know that I had really thought that all the way through. So there's that. God definitely has a sense of humor. He has his way of bringing us back to him, right? And so I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like I don't want to be like this Bible thumping, and that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is relationship, right? So I grew up in a Baptist church where it was all about religion and not about spirituality or relationship. So there's definitely, it'll be a different situation moving forward, but that's a thing, right? And I started reading the book I listened to it on audio. Sarah Jakes' book was great book. I also audio listened to that pastor. I forget, a young guy. I think his name is Todd something. God, I can't remember his name, but great book. I literally just got in the mail yesterday the new devotional from Jackie Hill, I think her name is. So it's a daily devotional, and so I just got that, and I'm also listening to what is that? The Garden Within. Along with all of these other books that I'm reading. That's another intention of mine, is to actually read the books that I buy. So there's that. But so that's kind of where I'm at in my head, in my heart, in my mind right now. I have a sense of peace that I don't think I've had. It's a different level of peace that I've had. I've definitely created a very peaceful life for myself in the last couple of years, but this sort of feels like a different peace 2.0, if I may. And I like it. I love it here. Is it perfect? No. Is it unicorns and rainbows? No. But I think this sort of grounding with who I am and whose I am, and having a real solid, clear understanding of that, and, being able to walk, say with my chest, like I'm God's child. Like God created me. He thought enough of me to create me, to spend the time. There is that is a thing. That is a big deal. And being able to, the things that he put into me, the gifts that he's given me, the talents, the skills, the mind, the heart, all of that stuff is specific to me. And he thought enough of me to give that to me. And I feel like I have a responsibility to give it back. I just do. And I have been afraid of what people are going to say. And do I look right? And do I sound right? And I was tripped up about the editing and the video and all that stuff. I really, really, really was. And I'm a work in progress. So there's that. But, if you don't take anything else away from this particular episode, know that you are like God's masterpiece, right? The song by Jasmine Sullivan, Mona Lisa. And I've been listening to that song over and over again. You are a work of art, a masterpiece, one of one. And there is a reason for you. The world needs you. The world needs me. The world needs your skills, your talents, your voice, your presence, your song, your words, all of whatever it is, the world needs it. And God gave it to you for a reason. He didn't give it to me, he gave it to you. And so we have a responsibility. I have a responsibility. And so I am tapping into, this is one of my efforts to tap into the gifts and the skills and the talents that God has blessed me with in order to be able to change what my eulogy says when I have departed this place and this space. So I didn't mean to get all deep or want to get all deep, but I wanted to bring you all into kind of where I've been in my head, what I've been sort of wrestling with, sort of where I'm at, and excited and scared shitless, I will say, about being on camera, which is weird coming from someone who you could not tell me I was not going to be the next Oprah. I've always wanted to be on TV. I've always been a talker. I was that person that always got in trouble for talking too much. I've always loved talking to people. I've wanted it to have a talk show. I love to write. I love to read. And so I get to I get to actually use those gifts and skills. I truly, honestly believe God didn't put those desires in me for no reason, right? Like there's a reason why those desires and those things live in my heart and don't live in my neighbor's heart. So there's that. But anyway, I'm super duper happy. I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you continue to go on this journey with me. I hope that we can connect and we can keep the conversations going outside of this, build relationship, build community, chop it up about all the things, because I'm going to chop it up with you all about all the things. And so I think that's what, I know, like that's what friends do. They are ears. They provide space. They provide support. All of those things. And so I want to do that, be that for you. And I want you to be that for me. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Enough of that. Just want to stop in really quick, reintroduce myself, reset for 2024, and know sort of what this new, we got videos now. So we're down to the video, and look at this, me and my mic. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to do some other stuff aside from, just talking on the mic. I'm going to, I have a long list of things that I want to share with you all. You don't see this room, but I have a whole plethora of things that I want to share with you all. I don't necessarily consider myself a fashion girly, but when I put my clothes on, I put them on. So there's that. But I've been I'm obsessed with a few different things over the last 6 months or so that I want to share with you all, and I want you all to become obsessed with them too. I don't want to be the only one. I've become obsessed with coats. And so I want to share my coats with you. I've become obsessed with hats and perfume and all the things, right? That you share with your girlfriends. Like, girl, look at this. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be mixing it up and just, taking you on journeys with me, by way of vlogs and, just sharing insights and snippets into my life of things that I have going on so that we can build relationship and be with each other. So that's to come. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and you click the little bell notification so you get reminded so that you don't miss an episode. It's going to get fun in 2024. We are going to have a good ass time. So buckle up, grab your snacks so we can chat. I holla.